Well, we go on with our conference, and it's a pleasure for me to invite to talk about reference in the Bible and the music and the history of music in the biblical period with one of the most important professor of South Italy. His name is Professor Arnaldo Bottone, the bottom, they call the colleagues. And please, Professor, let's start with this argument.
Thank you very much. I want to say thank you first to my colleagues because I really enjoyed the intervent. We had three professors, which one from Spain, the other from Moscow, extraordinary temperament. I wish I was like him because even when I was young, I was not have such a personality. And in the end, but not at least, I've seen American, the great professor from the Sapienza Roma. I never know if one day I can teach there because
please, Professor.
No, I want to say because I want to say thanks to Professor Roman Romade because with this, especially this prehistoric intervent, was really amazing.
Well, Professor, please let's start. Music and theater scholar studying the history
and the anthropology of Semitic and early Judeo-Christian culture have discovered the common links in theatrical and musical activity between the classical culture of Hebrew and those of later Greeks and Roman. You can see so a lot of same things, let's say. Sorry for my English, but I teach in 70 at the University of Oxford. Just 6 months I was a supplant. Poi sono tornato a casa perché mi piacevano troppo maccheroni da salsa moglie. And I back to Avellino because as everybody knows I come from.
Professor, we know that you come from Avellino. And please, the common area of performance.
The common area of performance is found in a social phenomenon called the litany. A form of prayer consisting of a series of invocation or supplication that when the boy pursues him, The Journal of Religion and Theatre notes that among the earliest forms of litany, Hebrew litany was accompanied by a rich musical tradition. In fact, they were very rich.
Professor, it's a spiritual richness.
Io lo tenevo una cosa sorta. While Genesis 4.21 identifies Jubal as the father of all such as handle the harp and the whip, facevo un bagno di band. The Pentateuch is nearly silent about the practice and extraction of music in the early life of Israel. Then in Samuel 10, see how is religious music, it's a beautiful conception. One finds in the biblical text writer Alfred Sandry, was a friend of mine when we were at college, and was a fellow, like another famous teacher say, he like a fellow. A sudden and unexplained upsurge of large choirs and orchestras consisting of truly organized and trained musical groups, which one played the piano and chi faccio bordello suona battery, which would be virtually inconceivable without lengthy methodical preparation. This has led some scholars to believe that the prophet Samuel was the patriarch of a school which taught not only prophets, only men, but also sacred rhythm musicians. This public music school, perhaps the earliest in recorded history, was not restricted to a priestly class, which is how the shepherd by David appears on the scene as a minstrel to King Saul. If you see the picture, Baretti, look at this, please.
Well, Professor, let's talk about the ancient Greece.
This is the most important argument of tonight. Because the music was an important part of social and cultural life in ancient Greece. Musicians and singers play a prominent role in the Greek theater. They have to take cost of the ticket. Mixed gender chorus performed for entertainment, celebration and spiritual ceremonies. Instruments included double reed owls and a plucked string instrument, the lyre. A much louder, they were fired.
Well, Professor, we are talking about ancient Greeks.
Greece. Greece era un bello film con Olivia Newton-John e John Travolta.
Professor, Greece, no Greece.
Va capisci che all'inglese come si dice? Io dico sempre Greece. Greece is the island and Greece is the movie. Ma where is the difference? Nace Munignana students inglese a me non madras. I don't am able to understand when someone say to me, "Have you been Greece?" I say, "Yes, I saw the movie. I was no. Have you been in Greece?" I say, "Vabbè." That's the reason that I back in Naples. And I had headache every morning.
Professor, but it seems that it's going very good with this conference.
Because I was taking a private lesson from a teacher in the condominio, no? Ci sta professora, the teacher of quarto floor, no? She teach English.
Well, you improve really a lot.
Thank you, but I improve, but Greece is still difficult, perché
Professor, we understand. Okay, let's go on, because Greece, okay. Greek music theory.
Included the Greek musical notes. Questo è importante, perché quello... The great Miles Davis, he was, you remember that beautiful records, kind of blue, bella, see. There was a lot of tunes.
Professor, let's go on. You are a jazz lover.
I tengo un sacco LP di jazz that eventually became the basis for Western religious and classical music. Va ascoltato pure jazz. Later influence from the Roman Empire, Eastern Europe and Byzantine Empire changed Greek music. The 6 kilos epitaph che si è accattato per fare i botti a Capodanno. Dice, voi che sparate a Capodanno? Io 6 kilos epitaph.
Professor, 6 kilos epitaph is something else. It's the oldest surviving example of a complete musical composition.
You are good because you are reading. These young people in the conference, okay. And the oldest, the 6 kilos epitaph is the oldest surviving example of a complete musical composition, including musical notation from anywhere in the world. And of course, come diceva il grande professore in spagnolo, sempre con grande sentimento.